As I film this, we're in the month of October. It's the middle of the month, and fall has been a little slow to get here. But finally, it seems like the temperature has shifted. And just the way that the air feels is different. I thought I would go on a little walk around property today and bring you with me so that you get a glimpse of what this very unique life living rural is like. I hear people, friends, acquaintances, people that I'm connected with on social media that will say to me that, oh, they wish they could do this, or they consider what would it be like if I actually did that, and if I bought land and I moved out and to the big wide open spaces and I left the city, all the conveniences. Is that a life I would really enjoy? That I would enjoy for the long run? Or is it something that would just be short-lived, like a vacation, and you're ready to come back home again? And honestly, that is a very individual decision, as you know. This is definitely not for everyone. And it also depends on where you are in life. Because if you are in a place where you can financially make it work, and it doesn't take being extremely wealthy to make this work. You just have to get to a point where you've got a stream of income coming in, or various streams of income coming in, that you can live off of. And with the internet, that makes it a whole lot easier. So I want to answer the question, what did I give up to move out here? Because it definitely was not an easy decision. It was not a quick decision. It took us 5 years. It took us 5 years of searching. It took us actually a little bit of counseling. And finding just the right property is not necessarily an easy thing. You have to make some accommodations because the supply is so much more limited. And what we needed out of a property, we had very clear goals, and mine were different than my husband's. And as I'm walking, you can see where I live. I'm tripping over the rocks as I'm trying to film this because I live in rock hound territory, which is pretty neat. Let me turn the camera around and I can show you. Occasionally we find a piece of quartz or some vividly colored red or yellow rock. And unfortunately, I'm showing you this. I know that it's not the most pleasant thing. That is a deer carcass that the wildlife has left behind. So back to where I was talking about. What did I give up to move out here? I gave up corporate life. The type of work that is defined by institutions. I always had an interest in biomedical research and the medical field. Thought I might actually work in that area. And I was actually looking at going and getting my master's degree after a break of raising my daughters and getting remarried and being able to start over again. And I thought that was something that I really wanted to do, and I'm not saying that it's not, because there is still a part of me that would like to pursue that master's degree. But I'm having to ask myself the very basic question of why. And I haven't come to terms with that yet. So I gave up that pursuit for this. And it's pretty incredible what I received in return for what it cost me. So what else did I give up? I gave up living close to my aging parents and my adult daughters and my grandchildren. And after I made the move out here, my two little grandchildren, with my daughter and her husband, whom I adore, by the way. I love my in-laws. They made a big move to the state of Alaska. So my move here was not the end of the distance separation between us, because the move that they made increased it exponentially. But we live in a time where we have so many ways to connect, and video chat is one of my favorites. My grandson absolutely loves to get the phone and see me on the video and walk me around the house and show me random things like the most recent holiday lights they put up, or decorations, or what he's watching on television. And my granddaughter's not quite old enough for that yet, but she's not far behind. And we blow kisses to each other. And I can get on an airplane and make a trip to go see them, and I have a wonderful vacation time away to spend time with them. Another thing that I do to stay connected with them is I send them packages. And I try to do it at least every other month, if not every month. I get those prepaid boxes that you can get at the UPS store, or I'm sorry, USPS. And I fill them up with fun things, clothing, whatever various stuff that I might find at, who knows, the dollar store, or at TJ Maxx, one of my favorite places to go to when I'm in the big city. So I fill those up with fun things, send them to them. They know that they're from me, and they love getting packages from their Ima, which is what I'm called. So what I gave up, I received again a huge blessing. And you can see next to me, I've got a couple of chairs out here on a hillside that is my own little private space to come and sit, and it's peaceful. I can read, I can think, I can pray, I can make a video, and I'm sharing this with you now, these beautiful views. Listen to the quiet. So what else did I give up? Well, from what I just showed you, I gave up a lot of noise. The city is so loud. And we still go. We have to go for medical, for specialists. I go to see my parents and people that I care about. And sometimes the events are nice that are hosted in the city. So we go, or I go, to the city and take part in that. And over the 3.5 years that I now have lived out here, I find that my tolerance for being in the city is much less. The noise, the traffic, the social problems that are endemic to urban life now, I don't miss. And I'm always glad to do what I came to do, to see the people, to do the events that I am there for, and then to come back home to my cabin on a mountaintop. So that's another thing that I gave up is noise and the hustle and bustle and crazy stress of the city. The trade-off is that stress still follows you as a human being. We have things that we carry with us. So one of the things that I have found in living out here is coming to terms with who you are, with my individuality, with who I am as a person, and who did God make me to be, and why am I here? Not just why am I here alive at this time, but why am I here in this area, and what can I bring? What can I offer? What is going to give me purpose? What's going to help define some meaning for my life? Because I, Lord willing, have many decades left, unless He returns first. So what's another thing that I gave up in moving rural? I gave up the structured lifestyle. And that might sound like a really awesome thing to you if you're in the middle of a very intense schedule of life that goes from the time your feet hit the floor in the morning until the time you go to bed at night. And I've lived that life, so I know. And I would not want to go back to that. But not having structure creates a little bit of a challenge of its own. And my friends and neighbors would tend to agree that that can be one of the biggest adaptations that you have to make in moving out and living rural like this. And so it has become very important to maintain some sense of routine. And that means going to bed at a regular time and getting up at a regular time, maintaining that sleep cycle. That means getting up in the morning and doing the things that are important to do. So for me, that means that I get up and I have my Bible study and devotional and prayer time, and or I'm spending time sitting and having a cup of coffee or tea with my husband, going for exercise and maintaining a regular schedule of exercise on a consistent and, for me, daily basis. And that involves anything from at least a walk, some stretching, weights, sometimes going to the gym a couple times a week. And I have recently brought running back in, something that I used to love to do. I did it for decades since I was in about high school, and continued on with the races and things that are put on in communities for different fundraisers. And then I let that go for some time and that's due to some other health related issues that I was having. And now I feel like I've come back into a bit of a normal state where things have kind of a homeostasis. I'm balanced again, and I've brought running back, and really enjoying the benefits that that brings to me. So being consistent about doing my exercise, then it includes a weekly routine of going to the store. I have recently, in the last year, started a ladies' Bible study, and that allows me to connect with other women, women of faith, and some that are curious and wanting to learn. It gives me a chance to reach out to my neighbors and to have a support system, which is something that I think is very important no matter where you live. And even more so in living rural, because we are so disconnected from the general population, from high density population. There are still a lot of people that live out rural. It's quite surprising, actually, once you do make the move, to find how many people are out here and making this kind of life. And you will learn a lot from them. So maintaining that level of consistency, getting dressed, acting like you're going to work, because your life is now your work. Your day-to-day living is now your work. So your attire might not be a suit or a pencil skirt, but it might be a pair of jeans and a nice shirt, and that's fine. It's important to maintain those kinds of routines in your life for your mindset. So those are some of the things that I have learned and done, and I want to share more with you about what life is like living rural. I'm creating videos for this channel for people who might be considering this kind of a life, or just if you're curious as to what in the world living like this is looking like, and how to make that change. So if you have more questions or comments, I would love to hear them, and would enjoy making future videos about those. Thank you for watching.